It's been a moderately successful but frustrating year for one of the best teams in the league. Tampa Bay Damage took second to Dynasty at the first two events and fifth at the Chicago Open. They have a chameleon-like ability to shape their style of play to suit the field layout and adapt to different playing styles, but they haven't won an event since the first tournament of 2012. Though they've had some turnover recently, with a total loss of 4 players in the past 8 months, the core of the team remains the same. Chad Boucher is one of the fastest players on the D side, and Dan Holliday is always a threat wherever he plays. Brian Smith is handling on the snake side in his comeback season. Their highest-ranked player, Jason Edwards, is one of the most consistent back players in the game, and the versatile Rainey Stanzik has been a great pickup for the team. Look for Tampa Bay Damage to make a solid run for the rest of the year. With a reignited fire for the game, San Antonio X Factor has trained hard since the beginning of 2012. But despite their efforts, the best that they've been able to finish this season is 6th place at the Mid-Atlantic Open. Plagued with penalties, X Factor just hasn't been able to get their full squad rolling, though they've shown that they can beat big teams and have avoided getting relegated to the Challengers Division. The team's core has been playing together for a long time and contains the talent to win tournaments. The rookie, Dimitri Ninos, is playing solid this year, as is veteran all-star Archie Montemayor, who's their highest-ranked player. X Factor took 3rd at the World Cup last season and can threaten for wins if they stay out of the penalty box and play together.
All right, let's check out here the stats, the game matchup between Tampa Bay Damage and San Antonio X Factor. Both of these teams, very experienced, very seasoned, been around a long time, but Tampa Bay Damage has done substantially better past couple seasons. San Antonio X Factor fighting to get out of that mid-level boss role, and they're adamant that they will be able to do that very soon. They took 3rd here at the World Cup in 2012, but since then just underperformed, but they have a chance for redemption at this event. So here we go on the breakout.
Billy Bernacci on your screen right there, trying to make his way out to the snake for San Antonio X Factor. Oh, number 7 taking the walk, Chad Boucher for Tampa Bay Damage. Look for Mr. Edwards to come up the center and try and shut down this side of the field, or the Doritos side of the field. Nice little spread on both teams. You can see top side. Both teams trying to get outside the Doritos, but Jason Edwards holding down that side, Matty. Taking out Colt Roberts, though, trying to make the move. So both teams losing 1 player. Colt Roberts on the Doritos side, Chad Boucher over here on the Doritos, on the snake side, and number 1, Timmy Props, going down right now as well. So and number 12, just dropping like flies right now, Steve.
Yeah, X Factor's just playing the middle of the field solid, man. They're just crossed up both sides of the field and just holding it down so far. So come out to get a good point against Damage. The way X Factor's been playing this year, like we talked about this again, they stay out of the box, they can beat anybody.
Yeah, that's been one of their big issues. So, but right now they have Kemp, Montemayor, Bernacci, and Goff out there doing work, and it's just Holiday left alive for Tampa Bay Damage to be really big for San Antonio X Factor here to put the first point on the board. And they are able to do it here as long as that hang is clean. So solid work by Scotty Kemp, Archie, Billy Bernacci, and Grayson Goff. Colt Roberts did get taken out by Jason Edwards, but not before he was able to get a shot on Chad Boucher, who's playing on that bum shoulder that he has. So nice work by San Antonio X Factor. Score 1-0, 18:35 on the clock. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to the 2013 PSP World Cup from the Fantasy of Flight, Polk City, Florida, a little outside of Orlando. Beautiful day today. Is a little hot though, so these players here in the afternoon, as things start to get a little scorching, it is Florida after all, so that's part of the deal. A little humid, a little hot. Not that bad though. We've seen it way worse before, so anyone that's played this event before is probably not unhappy with how the weather is. It's not raining, it's not 100 degrees.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it any day, man. So here we go. Can Tampa Bay Damage put a point on the board to tie it up here against X Factor? X Factor looking real good that first point. Let's see if they can keep that off the break shooting on. Now it looks like, I think both teams at 5 strong.
No, both teams losing one. Chad Boucher taking the walk, and Alex Martinez taking the walk.
Keith Brown just gets taken out too. So
the both of the Snake 1 attackers over here on the Snake side dead for Tampa Bay Damage, and X Factor taking full advantage of that, as looks like Dixon Yang all the way past the 50-yard line. Man, X Factor looks pretty good.
They do look really good right now. Dixon Yang always looks good. Archie Montemayor always looks good. Oh,
these
on
guys,
the tip of the finger.
These guys have been doing it. These guys have been playing together for a long time. I mean, the core of this team, like a lot of these other top teams, have been together for 6-7 years. Actually, even longer than that for X Factor. So, you know, it's one of those things that when you play together that long, you develop this unspoken kind of almost psychic-like communication. We see it on Dynasty, we see it on Impact, where you see guys don't really have to talk as much as players that are just kind of getting their team together in order to accomplish certain strategic goals out there on the field, because you have faith in your guys. You've seen them perform before, and you count on them to do certain jobs. That comes down a lot to strategy and game planning. But man, X Factor, they came to the World Cup and they came out blazing here against Tampa Bay Damage. Tampa Bay won the last event. Yeah. You know, so it's not like they're playing the team that Aftershock or 187 who just earned their way back up. You know, I mean, this is one of the powerhouse teams in paintball, and this is one of those teams that they need to be beating teams like Tampa Bay Damage to give themselves the confidence, especially in the prelims, that hey, we can get to Sunday, we can be the top 4, and then when we do get to Sunday, you know, we're trying to play for that win.
Yeah, and they come out and do it against Damage with their next game against Impact. If they could just keep playing the way they're doing and get a win here, how big would that be for San Antonio X Factor at the start of World Cup?
That would be huge. So we'll be right back after this. Score 2-0. So here we go, just 2 seconds before the start of this next point. Getting right back to the action. And there goes a very fast Keith Brown trying to get out into the insert bunker on the Snake side of the field. Looks like he makes it in clean. Oh, but look at this. Player coming off.
It's 3-on-3 already.
Yeah, wow. So 2 players for both teams dropping early.
Man.
It's a crazy layout, man. Yeah, these guys got their shots down.
We said this was going to happen. And here goes, look at this. San Antonio X Factor to the Dorito 50.
Nice move. That got to be Colt Roberts. No?
I think
Tom
Scott
Morrow?
Kemp.
Scott Kemp. Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, Scott Kemp. And here comes
number 12. That's Ramzi Al-Yusuf. Another specimen. I mean, the guy's in great shape.
I'll tell you, Scotty's sprints are working. He looked blazing fast going up that Dorito side.
Yeah, I didn't even see him. I caught the tail end of it. Like, I saw something on the corner of my eye. I looked over there, and he was back. He was already in the bunker.
There it is. You got Damage at the Snake 50, and you got X Factor at the Dorito 50. So who's going to capitalize here first? We shall see real quick.
Well, yeah, both these teams with good field position, better field position. I don't know. It's kind of a roll of the dice. I mean, what's a better spot? Dorito 3 right by the 50 on the Snake side, or the 50-yard line Dorito? Or I'm sorry, Snake 3 or the Dorito.
I think Snake 3 is much better.
Oh, they just took out Rumsey, so there it is.
There's my words. I'm eating. I was hungry anyway.
Yeah, well, that doesn't say anything against the spot. Rumsey just got shot out of there. But Rumsey has played really well for Tampa Bay Damage and he's earned his playing time.
Yeah, I think I see more people getting 3 and 4 packs out of the Snake 3 than I do out of the 50 Dorito.
I agree with you on that. That's a fact at this point in the tournament for sure. So now Billy Bernaccia seeing that death in front of him as Ramzi Al-Yusuf got shot. Billy Bernaccia gets right up in there, He's in good field position. 16 minutes left here on the clock. Scott Kemp, Billy Bernaccia, and Todd Morrow left alive for San Antonio X Factor. Looking at 2 Tampa Bay Damage players, and Jason Edwards and Rainey Stanzik. And it looks like Jason getting taken out, and then Rainey is wheeling and dealing until he finally gets shot as well, not before he gets Billy. So it was just Scott Kemp left alive over there on the Dorito side of the field. But, hey, man, you just need one alive.
Yep, that's all it takes. One person hang the flag.
Hey, that's all you need. You don't need to even shoot everybody. All you need to do is just have one guy left alive to hang the flag. So nice work by Scott Kemp. A real aggressive move by him. Saw the lane and very quickly sprinted up into the 50-yard line. Dorito. And he was the last person left alive for either team. The score now 3-0 in favor of San Antonio X Factor. We're beating the brakes off Tampa Bay Damage right now. We'll be right back.
A&S Gear is having their World Cup Super Sale. We've got A&S pods for half off. A&S gas tanks starting as low as $99.95. We've got swabs so cheap that you can throw them away. You can get Nelson paint arriving at your door, $31.95. Jerseys, we've got them starting at $4.95. And pants, starting at $29.95. Shop now at ansgear.com and don't miss out on the biggest paintball sale ever.
So welcome back here, and in a interesting turn of events, San Antonio X Factor right is just destroying Tampa Bay Damage. I mean, they've had some close points, like for instance that last point there, Scott Kemp, last player left alive. Scotty played great over there on the D side of the field, but X Factor, they look fired up, man. These guys are they look hungry. They look hungry to get back up there and be one of those top teams again.
They talking to a lot of guys over the weekend coming here, and they just said they've been practicing hard, and we're going to try to go out there and not give them as many penalties because they feel they can play with anyone on the field when they're not getting penalties. And I think we've seen that this year, right?
And that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, you know, and I mentioned that last tournament. You know, those guys got a lot of penalties last tournament. I think that actually cost them. I wouldn't say the tournament because I don't really know if they would have won or not because they weren't playing that good, but they were playing well enough to get to the finals.
Hey, honestly, and you never know when you're getting penalties. If you get, especially when you get like 3 majors and just tons of crazy penalties, it's really tough to even figure out how well you are playing. Right. That's one of the most frustrating things about getting a ton of penalties is you really can't get a good finger on the pulse of how the team is doing, and it just eats away at the motivation and confidence of the team.
Yeah, no, and that takes the wind out of your sails, so to speak, like you say every now and then, Matty.
Well, we saw that with Moscow Red Legion earlier on. You know, losing that
4-4 game, and then boom.
It was 3-0.
Well, yeah, and Legion, it was 3-0, and then they ended up losing to Heat. And how awesome would if they weren't getting those penalties to come out and beat Heat?
Oh, smashing Heat. They were
smashing Heat before those penalties. So that's the price you pay.
Yeah.
And then instead of Legion winning some games, they end up going 0-2. So, you know, talk about a team that's going to have a 3-hour meeting tonight and try to come back and win 2 big ones tomorrow. It's Moscow Red Legion, and right now Damage is pretty much in the same spot. Well, they haven't lost the game yet, but they are in the same spot that they were in, that Legion was in before. So here we go. Can Tampa Bay Damage get on the board here? 15:37 to go. San Antonio X Factor and Tampa Bay, both these teams at full strength.
Here comes a penalty on.
And there we go. We just started talking about penalties. But what happens when you start going down? Start going down points.
You start
get frustrated.
Sometimes.
Yep. You start exactly.
And Damage doesn't need to force things because these guys got the talent. They get down a lot, and they have the talent to come right back. So But right now, the way X Factor's playing, man, they're just solid all across the field right now.
Well, Archie Montemayor getting shot trying to make it up here on the Snake side of the field. Alex Martinez, Grayson Goff, Scott Kemp, Colt Roberts still alive. Only 2 players left alive for damage. This would be a huge point win right here if San Antonio X Factor could go up 4 against Tampa Bay Damage, really putting a hurting on damage so far. But they just got to make sure they get this point. This is a big one for damage, though. I mean, they still have Timmy Probst and Chad Boucher, 2 of the best. Very highly ranked players, doing great on the stats. Chad Boucher playing with that bump shoulder, not really looking like it's hurting him right this second, though. I mean, he looks fluid in there, as always.
Yep.
Oh, Alex Martinez gets shot out of his spot here, and there's no one on the Snake side, so Chad Boucher might step up and save the day for Tampa Bay Damage. If he can get a shot on Colt Roberts crossfield, only 2 players left alive for San Antonio X Factor, and holy Chad Boucher.
What a great move by Chad Boucher, getting down the field.
Oh, that was a big point loss by X Factor right there. But hey, you know, you're playing Tampa Bay Damage, you can't blink twice.
Nope.
Because all of a sudden you got Chad Boucher on your backside, stitching it up behind your neck, which is exactly what happened to Colt Roberts trying to make his move over there. So, you know, Timmy Probst and Chad Boucher combining for pretty much all 5 kills, or 4 kills. That was excellent work by Chad Boucher and Timmy Probst right there.
And that game looked like X Factor had it in control again, but like you said, these guys, they're not going to give up, and they got to the right positions and dude, take out Alex Martinez, and that's it. They turn the game.
And Rab and Chris, what we were talking about earlier, if you want to win tournaments, you have to win high body situations. There's no excuse to be losing points when you are up 4-on-2. That's just pure mental mistakes and pure lack of focus and attention to detail. And that's the thing, you know. I got to give it off to Chad, or give my hats off, send my hats off to Chad. He did some good, solid work over here on the Snake side of the field. But still, it still requires mental errors for you to actually even make that. You hope, you're begging for that. If you're the 2, you're begging for a mental error. Drop a lane, you know, somebody gets sloppy on a gunfight, and that's exactly what happened. And what happens if now damage comes back? And I mean, with 13:53 left to go, there's tons of time left. This could be the turning point in the game. Now we're only down 2. Instead of being down 4, that was that swing point. And it was up, you know, it was basically Chad Boucher doing work over on the Snake side, even with his bum shoulder and everything. But that's why Chad's one of the greatest. And also, Timmy did a great job at containing over there. Amazing work by Chad and Timmy. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly on the sidelines.
Hey guys, I'm in the X Factor pits with Coach Ryan Brandt. You guys are coming out really strong. Damage just managed to get 1 point on the board, but you guys are ahead 2 points. What were you guys working on since Riverside to make sure you ended up on the podium?
We've just been working really hard, really concentrating on, what's, caused us to not, win in the past. Obviously the penalties, we haven't had any today. That's been the huge difference for us so far.
Awesome, and this field is really aggressive. How are you guys strategizing your play?
We're really trying to get outside. We know Damage wants to stick inside, shoot a lot of guns out wide. If we can get wide on them, we think we have a great shot.
All right, this point's just starting. We'll see who gets it.
Get right back to the action here. X Factor on your screen right now. Tampa Bay Damage, they still have to come back. X Factor with the lead, 13:44 to go. Looking at X Factor rolling their guns
take
over
out
here.
Chad Boucher, and
ooh, big kill.
looks like Daniel Holiday, so they Damage loses 2 on the break here.
Yeah, but Grayson Goff gets shot for San Antonio X Factor, so 4 X Factor players left alive, though. They do make a move here into the Snake. 3 players left alive for Tampa Bay Damage. Oh, but Jason Edwards catches 1-2. So just Keith Brown and Rainey Stanzik, and all of a sudden Tampa Bay Damage, even though Chad had some heroics here in that last point, didn't really help their motivation very much because they got 2 of their 3. I don't know, everyone's a star essentially on Damage, but look at this. Dimitri Ninos finally gets a chance to get out there. He didn't get shot off the break, but he didn't shoot anybody. He got shot out of his bunker.
His wrist is in a cast, and I know he wants to get out here and play, but how effective can you be, man? I don't know.
Well, the thing that's not, you're right. I mean, but they got him his spin, and he got shot, and so it's, Dimitri, we need more out of Dimitri if you're an X Factor fan.
The fact that he's just out here with the broken wrist,
that's some man stuff right there, for sure. So here we go, 2-on-3, Colt Roberts, Billy Bernaccia, and Archie Montemayor, who is the kill count leader, no surprise there, for San Antonio X Factor. Keith Brown and Rainey Stanzik have only combined for 2 kills each. Or, I'm sorry, for 2 kills total. And then Rainey gets shot, so it's just Keith Brown. And here comes X Factor. gonna run Keith. You can look how frustrated Keith is. Keith is incredibly frustrated, and you hate to see that. But as well he should be. If I was Keith, I'd be frustrated too. Last guy left alive. I'm the one over here on the snake side. How do all my solid star, top-ranked back players dying out of their spots?
Leaving me here solo.
Yeah,
on
to
the
get
island.
run down. Get five or
hammered.
six, 7, 8 extra welts.
And if you're gonna beat damage, the way to beat damage is because they're so good with their gun skills. You gotta attack them. And X Factor's attacking right now. And if you have any chance to beat damage, Chris, that's how you beat these guys.
And that's a statement of what you guys come here to do.
Well, think about this. Let's talk about this real quick. Strategy. I think that we've seen two different converging strategies on this particular layout. You have the damage strategy, and then you have the dynasty strategy, which is a much more slow and smart. But then you have San Antonio X Factor, who's taking ground. They're making solid moves, and they are definitely not playing slow at all. They're actually playing pretty aggressive, and they're beating up on damage right now. So I don't know if that slow and smart's going to work, because Dynasty got 4-0'd against the Ironmen, who weren't playing slow. So I don't know if that slow and smart's going to work on this particular field out. We'll see tomorrow, and we're going to continue to see as this afternoon. We got some aggressive teams coming up. We'll be right back after this.
PaintballDojo.com. Support your favorite pro teams. Get your name printed on pro team gear. PaintballDojo.com. Lifestyle gear for players. Full color and completely custom options. You can build a custom design straight from our website. Gear available for both men and women. PaintballDojo.com. Lifestyle gear for players.
Split screen breakout here. Damage on your left, X Factor on your right. 12-14 to play. It's been all San Antonio X Factor. I mean, the only thing that Damage has been able even to do as we see Jason Edwards die off the break. One of the best back players in the game and last year's People's Choice Award winner for his amazing play in 2012. But I'll tell you what, man, the only way that the Damage has even has a point on the board is because Chad Boucher and Timmy Probst stepped up and won a 2-on-4. And that was X Factor dropping the ball, so that was a gift. But now we got a 4-on-4. Scott Kemp, Dixon Yang, Dimitri Ninos, and Archie Montemayor stunting right now with 7 confirmed kills. They're out there against Keith Brown. Oh, but Dimitri Ninos getting shot early again. So in the 2 reps that Dimitri's got, the young talented rookie not showing us his stuff yet. But again, Dimitri's playing with a broken hand, so we can't harp on him too much. The fact he even decided, hey, I'm going to play with this custom cast he got made is that's pretty crazy alone. But that kid's got a lot of heart, so it's not surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. He has a lot of heart. I really like the way he's playing. He's come up a lot too.
He has. He's really young, and he comes off as he's like 25, but he's not even in his 20s yet.
I know.
So it's crazy. He's like 19 years old. So the fact that he's that mature, that young, really bodes well for his future. But unfortunately for him, he did break 2 bones in his hand. Same injury that Brandon Short had earlier on this year. Brandon had Dimitri has to have surgery on that hand after this event.
And it's a good time. I mean, not that there's ever a good time to have surgery, but if you're going to have it, now's a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Right after the World Cup.
For sure.
You can heal up in time for March or February, whenever we have our first tournament.
So here it is.
A battle right now. Keith Brown.
4-1 right now, and San Antonio X Factors right now, they know damage has to come. Let's kill as much clock time as possible and make it work for this kill. And at least they're in the good positions right now to keep them at, back up a little bit.
Keep him at bay. And Keith Brown in Snake 2 knows he has to push. Keith is also a guy that's a little bit younger in the game, but he's had some seasons now with damage, and everyone loves Keith. I don't know one guy that speaks ill.
One of the politest players I've ever met.
He is
hardworking.
Still calls me Mr. Rabblecuff. I'm like, don't do that, man. What are you doing?
You're like 50, bro.
I know.
Jeez.
Ooh, and the first strike for Chris
first strike.
at World Cup.
It's happening.
Chris 1,
first
Rab
blood.
0 so far.
First blood.
But you're right. I mean, I would have said the same thing. Thank God he called me Matty. But if he called me Mr. Marsh, I'd be like, that's actually my dad. Please don't ever call me that again.
Man.
But Keith's great. Everybody loves Keith. He's a solid talent, but it's going to be up to Keith right now. Can Keith get it done in the Snake? We're looking at Keith on your screen right now. That's Keith Brown, young talent for Tampa Bay. Oh, look at this. Moves made down on the Dorito side. Who is that? Is that Scotty Kemp?
I don't know. I didn't see it again. All I saw was a flash.
I think that's I think that might be Scotty
It
Kemp.
is. Look at that.
This got, see, it was a flash of light.
Dude, Scotty Kemp, man, he came to play some paintball here at the World Cup. Just running people down and getting himself
Man, I
a
was going to pick
three-pack
him
over
last
there.
night for my team, too. I had him.
Oh, and he was good value, too.
It was good value, but my money, man, I was running out of money.
Scotty Kemp, man, having one of the best games of the year for him so far. 3-pack for Scott Kemp, just stunting out there. 5 confirmed kills for him. Let's check in with Lauren.
Hey guys, I'm here with Riley Sullivan from Excessive. Excessive just won 5-4 against Vicious. Congratulations, that's a big win for you guys.
Yeah.
Give us a recap of what happened.
Well, we came out getting a couple G's off the break. Our back guys really came through. I think this field suits us. We were practicing, obviously, for 2 weekends, really hard on just shooting people off the break, and it paid off that game. But it was a tough game the whole way through. We had the lead the whole game. They started to come back, and we were able to just hold our ground and win the game out. It was 5-4, so we didn't get the max amount of points, but very good game. My hat's off to Vicious. They're a tough team, obviously. They've been doing great all year. And, you know, some people are surprised we beat Vicious, but Excessive's expectations are really high. So we're bummed we couldn't do that all year for the fans, but hopefully we can win this one and show you guys we mean business. So.
World Cup is the place to win.
Yeah.
What have you guys learned this season, being your first full season in PSP?
It's a different game, you know. 7-man, you got 7 guys. You can expend maybe 2 guys, you know, lose. But this game, you lose 2 guys. It's a much tougher game. So we really picked up on that. We're playing a little bit tighter. And we just love this game, you know. We're just glad to compete with all the top teams and hopefully getting back into the Champions Division and cause some ruckus next year. So.
All right, well, congratulations. Right now we still have the Damage versus X Factor game. X Factor is up. We'll see if they can keep
Can
the
I
lead.
shout out to my family?
We'll give a shout out to Riley's family, man. Great family, man. Riley Sullivan really matured and he's such an amazing player. Talk about causing ruckus on the field. He's good at it. Hats off to Excessive. And hopefully they can fight for their fans, try to get back in the Champions Division. So here we go. San Antonio X Factor in a surprise turn of events, taking on one of the favorites here, Tampa Bay Damage, and beating them up so far.
And
Another reason Tampa Bay Damage, Chris, even has a point is because, again, Chad Boucher stepped up in that 1 point long ago. But it's just been all San Antonio X Factor.
And Rumsey Yusuf gets eliminated as well, so now they're down 2.
Yeah, well, Colt Roberts got up in that in that A really, really quick. And actually, Jason Edwards and Ramsey Yusuf got stuck in that can.
Look at that beautiful shot cross field by Billy Bernaccia.
He's playing really good
that
this
was
tournament so far.
nasty. He got right in there and just shot cross field. And I think that took out
that was Daniel Holiday.
Yeah. Dan Holiday got caught sleeping there. Didn't realize that because Billy slid right in, knew the shot immediately. Obviously, X Factor has done their time on this field. They know all these angles. And man, X Factor looks like they look like one of the best teams out here right now.
I'd have to agree with you right there,
They're
man.
playing
for
amazing.
Sure. Now Billy's gonna go up to this next little knuckle, and he's gonna shoot across the field, and he's gonna shoot that far Dorito in the back. That's gonna be Timmy Probst. Or he's just gonna run down and shoot Jason Edwards. That'll work too, I guess.
Whew, Billy just out there just battling right now. Billy
Cruise down to the
Bernaccia.
snake side.
Going to work.
That's good because Billy struggled last year till the World Cup, and then when Billy started playing well, what happened? Oh wow, they just destroy
And the
poor
work,
number 1 Timmy Probst.
And what you don't want to do, especially at World Cup, is you do not want to lose your first game 6-1 or potentially 7-1 and put yourself in that point differential, especially when the bracket. Just look where these guys have to play still.
Well, before we head to the commercial break, let's just look at the kill count for San Antonio X Factor. Scotty Kemp, 6. Phenomenal this game. 4 3s, 2s. Everyone's contributing for San Antonio X Factor, and it shows. And anytime we see that, guys, how many times we see that? When we look at our board, our stat board, and I'm seeing, you know, lots of kills from everybody. That's the team that's winning.
Yeah.
You know, everyone is contributing. It's not just one guy out there killing everybody. And on the flip side, Tampa Bay Damage is struggling to get kills. They're not really shooting a lot of guys off the break like they normally do. They're dying out of their bunkers, which is not something they normally do. This Tampa Bay Damage does not look like the same team that won the last event. We'll be right back after this.
2013 season of the CXBL has officially come to a close. Thanks to all the players and sponsors for once again making the CXBL one of North America's greatest leagues. Stay tuned to buypbl.com on Facebook. The 2014 season is just around the corner.
Right, split screen breakout here. X Factor on your left, Damage on your right. X Factor 1 point away from victory here to take this first matchup against Tampa Bay Damage. And Tampa Bay Damage in just a self-destruction here. But I don't know. I don't know if this is a matter of how good X Factor is playing right now, which is actually amazingly good. No penalties, everyone's hitting hard, or it just Tampa Bay's playing bad. I honestly, I'm gonna give it to X Factor.
I'm gonna give this one to X Factor.
Tampa
They're
Bay
just
Damage.
playing that good.
I think so. I think it's just X Factor has finally, and we'll see as they progress, because they have been inconsistent before. But my God, they look like this. I think they might look the best out of every team we've seen so far today.
Yeah, they're just playing the whole side of the field just hard, getting in Damage's face all across the field here. Man, I'm just, like you said,
I'm happy for him.
Whose strategy is working different right now.
And it's cool because tomorrow we're premiering the documentary ETV's The Roster at lunch, so you get to see all year long, or at least the first episode of an episodic series, documenting their struggle to get to be the team they are right now. That's just beating the brakes off Tampa Bay Damage.
And here it is, 6-1 lead, and Damage, they have to win this game. 6:22 left in the game. I just don't know if they're in position right now to do this.
Well, Timmy Probst is doing some work out there. He's got 4. Chad's got 2. Keith Brown's got 2. But Holiday's got 1. Rainey's got 1. Like, that's not enough, guys. You know, they got to step up if they want to try to win a title here.
So it does not look good. And here comes Archie.
Archie's going to put it on him. It's awful quiet to be sitting there. Timmy just getting it again in the head. I mean, God, X Factor just looking really crisp right now.
So good. They're doing everything right. They're shooting guys off the break. They're making aggressive moves. They're seeing the lanes. They're locking lanes down. I mean, there's not one bit of paintball that they're lacking in right now. Not one element of the game that I did not see them hit as hard as they could right now.
All the games that we watched, we were to say right now. And right now they're the best team I've seen play today so far on this field.
Hey, I'll tell you, we know how this works. If I'm any of these teams out there, you know how everyone goes back and they're like, okay, what'd you see? What's going on? Everyone going home tonight is going to be like, hey, did you see X Factor tear Damage to pieces 7-1? I mean, again, the only point that Damage won was because Chad Boucher had a point.
Right.
That's it. You know what I mean? And Timmy too, Timmy Probst. That's it. That's the only point they won, and that was a 4-2 come from behind point victory there. But other than that, I mean, I'll tell you what, to me, out of all the teams we've seen so far, and we have yet to see Infamous play, but I haven't seen anyone play this field as well or have everyone across the board step up like we just saw a San Antonio X Factor.
They shot Damage off the Dorito side, the Snake side.
I mean, you know, Dynasty beat Legion pretty good, and Iron Man beat Crew, but no, I'm sorry,
No,
I don't care.
that's the best game I've seen so far today.
X Factor is playing the best out of every team that we have seen play so far today, by far.
And their next game's gonna be a bloodbath with the Impact. So
yeah,
that's gonna be a great game.
They play Impact next, so that's 2 teams that are one-on-one and looking really good.
The way they just played this game, man.
Yeah. Well, let's check out the schedule here for the rest of the day as we're moving our way through the afternoon's competition. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, let's check out tomorrow's schedule because, hey, you definitely want to get a grip here, see Saturday, what you got going on. Everyone's got the weekend. But, hey, let everybody know. Share this across your social networks. Let everybody know that the best teams in the world are throwing down right now here in Orlando to see who's going to be the world champs. And, wow, San Antonio X Factor looks really good. So tomorrow, we got Legion taking on Crew to start off the day, then Heat Ironman. That's going to be a pretty awesome game. Ironman looked really strong as well. I mean, they 4-0'd Dynasty. And then Dynasty's got Crew, Ironman taking on Legion, and Dynasty Heat. That's the morning bracket. Then Vicious and Jesters. We're heading into the Challengers division. Thunder Excessive. We just heard Excessive just beat Vicious. And lots more awesome competition in the afternoon bracket tomorrow. So, wow. Wow. Holy San Antonio X Factor. Amazing. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly. Looks like she has Scott Kemp and Archie, the 2 best players on X Factor right now. Let's listen in.
I am down here on the sidelines with Scott Kemp and Archie Montemayor from X Factor. Guys, that was a huge win for you, 7-1 against Damage, who took first in Riverside. What is different here at this event that's making the difference?
Honestly, it feels like teamwork. Our practices are really strong. We play with a lot of confidence. And in a lot of events, I feel like we're kind of afraid to die rather than going for it. One of the top teams and play with confidence, and that's what we.
I heard you saying on the sidelines that that was the best teamwork you've ever felt on the field. What was different?
Yeah. Where there's no sideline coaching, I don't feel like we had as well of a communication. So we, just teamwork, honestly, and it took a while to build that.
All right, Archie. What you guys are up against Impact next, and they're aggressive. They want that first place win. What do you need to do to make sure you can keep going undefeated here?
Honestly, it's really about execution. Scott was mentioning that the communication was really a big part in our victory, and I completely agree with that. I can't, say it enough. So for us, it's really about getting those kills off the break, talking to each other, and closing out the games smart. We actually lost 1 point there, and it was actually on the part of a stupid play by myself. So we have some mistakes to clear up, but hopefully we can kind of start off the way we did there, and hopefully come out with a win.
Hopefully they can keep it going. Scott, thanks for getting me a lot of points on fantasy paintball there. Archie, you were too expensive for me.
Back to you, Maddie.
Oh, there you go. He can do my job.